Hey guys, thanks for coming back. So, I like to do 5-minute interviews with random people,
Okay.
and I like to talk about a belief that you really think is true, and it can be really anything. And then I just ask questions to kind of uncover how you got there. Cool?
Oh, you have a camera?
Yeah, I pointed down. Are you guys okay if I record it?
I guess I don't. Where's it going though?
Sometimes it doesn't always go to YouTube, but if the conversations are really good, I put them up on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess I don't care. I look ugly
You're
though.
fine. Cool. My name's Eddie, by the way. What's your name?
Eduardo.
Eduardo?
Yeah.
Oh, good name. What's your name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany? All right. Let me write that down. Eduardo. Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'll just give you an example of some of the topics that people choose. Like, it kind of goes the supernatural route. It doesn't really necessarily have to. Some people talk like they believe in aliens. Most commonly, people talk about I believe in karma. I believe that prayer works. I believe in a God. I think magic is real. Stuff like that. But I think the more interesting conversations are the ones that you really think are true, and it kind of like affects you on a day-to-day basis. Is there a belief you guys hold that kind of fits that description?
I would say prayer.
Prayer, okay. All right. So I want to get a sense of how, let me start that timer, I'm sorry. I want to get a sense of how confident you are in prayer. And I use a scale that kind of helps me understand. So if 0% would be I have all questions, no confidence in prayer. 100% is I have no questions, all confidence that prayer works. Where do you think you would fall in that?
I would say more like along the 90.
90? Okay. That's still pretty high. What is the main reason why you're 90% confident that prayer works?
The only reason is because it's like of my background. I have like a medical background.
Okay.
And the reason I say prayer works is because I have a cousin that has had breast cancer, has double mastectomy.
Okay.
And she beat cancer,
Okay.
but it ended up coming back. But this time it was more aggressive and all the way in her lungs already.
Okay.
And her prognosis on getting better was very low, and her life expectancy was not very long.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, she's still here.
Okay,
And
so
it's
she
been-
made it.
Yes, she's still here.
Does she still have cancer, or is it?
Yes, she does.
But it's kind of.
It's kind of, I guess, in a way, under control, where it won't metastasize so bad.
Yeah.
Which I mean.
Oh, it's not as like deadly.
When cancer starts to metastasize, it's
Okay.
very hard to slow that down.
Okay.
Like chemo obviously helps, but also chemo does weaken the person.
And you can only do so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, like he said, the prognosis was very low, to where she wasn't gonna live long.
Yeah.
Like they were saying like you're gonna die anytime now.
Yeah.
And like it's been months ago this, and she's still here, and she's stronger than what she was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hypothetically, let's say that, and I don't want you to necessarily think about this because it's hard to think about, but let's say that she didn't make it. It was a she, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say she didn't make it. Would that lower your confidence that prayer worked?
Because I mean, if it goes back to like what we've been taught, like health is not just your physical health.
Okay.
It's an overall, like, body whole, mind, body, soul.
Okay.
So I mean, if she's confident that prayer is actually helping her,
Mhm.
and she feels better at the moment, and even though the turnout is not what we were expecting, at least she was at peace during that time.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. And let me repeat it back so to make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying even if prayer didn't work, it would give her peace
Yes.
to know to believe that it will.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I understand what you're saying. But would that, I guess what I'm asking is, what if that happened, would it conclude that prayer didn't work? I mean, I know it gives people comfort, but if she didn't make it, would that conclude that prayer didn't work?
Well, if you're praying for someone and you believe in prayers because you have faith in God,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So God tells us in the Bible that we have to walk by faith. And so if we don't have faith, then of course maybe we could say she died, prayer didn't work, it doesn't even work.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do that anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But if she does pass, I guess people can look at it like it was her time to go. There's probably nothing we could have done. Prayer, it doesn't mean it didn't work. It just means that she's where she's supposed to be. I guess I don't know how
Okay.
to better explain that right now.
So, let me kind of repeat what you're saying. Are you saying that although the specific prayer didn't work, like you prayed for them to get better and they didn't, it's still for the best? Is that what you're saying? Or are you actually saying the prayer actually worked?
I mean, if she's lived longer than what the doctor said and just giving her more time and, a better quality of life, I think the prayer worked.
Oh, okay. So if she didn't have more life and it just was really instant, then the prayer wouldn't work. But if it gave her a little more time, it did?
Yeah, those are hard questions.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it all really depends on the circumstance. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you can say it's sad. Most people don't start praying until there's like a reason for it, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, if she wouldn't have cancer, would everybody be gathering together and praying for her well-being? But now that she has cancer, everybody unified, praying together for her well-being.
Let me ask it a different way. In that example where someone doesn't have a long time to live and you pray for them to recover, what would be an example of prayer not working?
I think prayer works every single time, whether the outcome is not what you expect or what you want. Not everybody gets what they want. I guess that's how I see that. I don't know how to explain that in a different way. But in my head, I kind of want to, and I kind of know what I want to say.
Yeah.
But
So are you saying prayer? There's no situation in which prayer can't work.
those are hard questions.
It's that fine line there. So.
You had to have faith in your prayer. You can't stop believing in God or prayer because the outcome is not what you want.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily it needs to affect your belief in God or anything like that. I guess what I'm asking is, can you identify something, a circumstance in which, if that happened, you can conclude that the prayer didn't work? Like, is there things that, if that happened, you can conclude your wish, or your I guess not wish, but like your wish was not granted? Like, what?
I guess
you know what I mean?
Here, like flesh and human speaking, I guess I could say, something happened. Okay, like for instance, if she would have passed, and the family would have been like, prayer didn't work here, or doesn't work. Prayer doesn't work.
Yeah.
But that would, I don't know how to explain it.
So if someone, let's say someone was
here. If you're
here,
a firm believer
I'm sorry,
in God,
then
you wouldn't say that. Even if the outcome wasn't what you expected or what you wanted or what you prayed for. There's times when things happen and people that are and church Christians, and they follow the word of God, try to follow it to the best of their ability, and think bad things happen to them. And sometimes those people are angered or have mixed emotions, and then they ask why, and ultimately they stop believing and they like push away from that.
Okay. Are you saying, and again, if I'm not getting it, if I'm not understanding it correctly, let me know. Are you saying that in as a believer in God, if you, and I'm not, just let me know if I'm not getting it. If you, as a believer in God, if you admit that the prayer didn't work, you shouldn't do that. Like, you know what I mean? You're saying that you shouldn't do that because you're questioning the plan?
You're not supposed to question God.
Okay.
Yeah.
And admitting that your requests from Him weren't granted is bad.
I didn't say it was bad.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's you shouldn't.
The way of thinking.
Oh, okay.
The way of thinking of the person after they don't get what they want could potentially be like a reason for them to question or be angry or push away from whatever they believe in. Ultimately, if it didn't happen, you're not supposed to question. Maybe in prayer you can question God, but you're not supposed to. I guess, I don't know.
I think I understand. Okay, you're saying that even if the outcome wasn't what you wanted and it wasn't what you prayed for, you shouldn't think of it as not working, because that will just upset you, and it would lead you down the path to question God, and you don't want to do that. Is that right?
I guess kind of, yeah.
Okay. But you can let me ask you this. Can someone admit that the prayer didn't work and still be at peace with God and just know that He has a bigger plan, but you can still admit that it just didn't work? Is that possible? Without going down that path?
I think it would be the same thing. You're still questioning Him, and you're still not believing in prayer, so you're perhaps not 100% know if you really believe or not. I don't know.
So, like, are you saying, like, if you don't believe in prayer, then you might as well not believe? Is it that like, you know what I mean?
To me, it is.
Interesting. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate the talk.
Why do you do this?
Why do I do this? Well, it's like a hobby of mine. I like to examine some of the ways that people come to
what do you think?
know things. Of a prayer?
Yeah.
I think that it's hard to confirm things as working. So, like if I were to pray for something and I got it, and that would be check, that prayer worked. But if I didn't get it, well, it still works. I just,
it didn't happen for a reason. Maybe in the long run, you're going to be able to tell, okay, I know why this didn't work. God had a bigger plan for me. Or,
right, but you can, but it would still be concluded that, like, let me ask you this. If God's plan is set into motion, like He's going to do what He wants, and you shouldn't question Him, why ask Him to change it?
Because in the moment our flesh wants something, and we want it so bad that we want Him to do it right now, right then, and it's not, I'm not saying that it's always impossible. Sometimes it's not possible. So therefore there's always a time and a place for something.
Do you think
maybe if you get that, maybe you're going to forget about Him, and then you're going to go and basically be entertained by whatever you got. Because some people tend to do that. When they have everything, they don't seek Him. You see what I'm saying? And when they don't, and there's something going on, like he said, then that example was his aunt having cancer, then
Yeah.
they turn to him and they pray.
Mhm.
But also the Bible says that you have to pray giving thanks to him for what you have, and feel blessed that you have what you have in the moment, instead of just turning to him when you need something.
I gotcha. So let's say if someone acknowledged that, you know what, he's going to do what he wants to do. He knows best, and he has a plan. I'm just not going to ask for anything, and I'm just going to really work on whatever happens. It's up to him, and I give thanks to him, and I know that he has it's for the best, but I'm not going to ask for anything, because if it's not part of his plan, I'm not going to get it. What do you think?
I think that's when, like, for example, sometimes I start to ask for things that maybe I shouldn't be asking for,
Mhm.
and I had to check myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's not. If it's not his will, then I'm not. I don't have to be asking for things.
So why not just don't ask for anything and just accept?
Well, I would. If you're okay with that, then that would be your positive outlook on that.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting talk, guys.
Okay.
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
All right, have a good day.
You too.